This is your AP Government video on public opinion. Just like it sounds, in order to measure what the public cares about, or their opinions about various candidates or policies, they have to poll people. And based upon what the public's opinions are at any one time, those things can affect an election cycle. So your official definition of public opinion is the distribution of individual preferences on an issue, a candidate, or an institution. Like I said, this is typically measured through scientific polling, and there are all sorts of polling firms which are hired by candidates' campaigns, by political parties, and by people once they've already been elected to office. If you are elected to office and you want to know whether your constituents like or dislike a piece of legislation, then you would have to poll them or ask them about it. So there are all sorts of different polling firms that do this. If you've watched politics for any amount of time in the last 10 years, you know that polls can be wrong. And some of that is because the scientific method that they use, maybe they're polling the wrong group of people, or they need to look at more varied backgrounds of people, or go to different states or more rural areas. But we also know that a lot of news organizations also use unscientific polls. A scientific poll is typically used by candidates or by elected officials because they want to try to influence public policies, institutions, or elections. And sometimes they're trying to figure out what's the best way to go about something. So if you want to get elected in the next election cycle, you have to figure out what the voters want and care about, and then you can craft your message in your campaign towards that. And this is obviously the basis for democracy. If you want government by the people, then we've got to figure out what the people want.